everybody. It's your 5-star realtor, Joshua Ingram, partnered with Page Properties team, brokered by EXP. We're on another episode of the brand new podcast called The Dream Builders Podcast.
Not new anymore.
Well, not new anymore. I've been doing it for about a year or some change
Almost
now.
a year, yeah.
Yeah, so with another episode of the Dream Builders Podcast, where our mission is to help buyers, sellers, agents, small businesses, and nonprofits reach the resources and connect with the knowledge to achieve their goals. We have a special guest, Gene Mcknight with Mcknight Electronics. How you doing, Gene?
Doing good. Good to see you.
Awesome. And I can't forget my partner and team lead, Bradford Page with Page Properties team.
Joshua, Gene, welcome.
Good to see you.
Appreciate you coming down and seeing us.
Awesome. So, Gene, thank you for coming on our podcast. And I'm curious, could you share with us the story behind finding Mcknight Electronics and what inspires you to start?
This is kind of like a rewind 58 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I started off the last 2 years of high school repairing televisions, and the other half a day I went to school. So after finishing 2 years and after graduating, wanted to dodge the draft, obviously, so I got a degree in radio and television, which allowed me to learn the theory and all that. And then I was still trying to dodge the draft again, and then then I got a degree in electronic technology, which was a more intense type training. So if we fast forward to 1989, okay, that's when I started off in the Savannah, Georgia area. I stayed in that business the whole time. Anyway, opened up a shop on Waters Avenue, and we repaired televisions, and then of course we had to have some type of retail. The way our business plan worked, you had a repair shop that kind of carried everything, and then you had some type of retail. It used to be TVs, but obviously the Best Buys and the Circuit Cities and all them took that away from you. You couldn't compete with. So we were actually doing cell phones at that point in time. And later on down the line, whatever was popular, then the TV installation business, as we're looking today, got real popular, and we've installed probably over 6,000 TVs in I'd say probably a 60 or 70 mile radius.
And that's your main business right now, is it?
Well, yeah, it's kind of the what pays the bills. So I had dabbled in the camera business for the whole time, a little here, a little there. So as we moved along, I got a guy to go with me full time, and then I got a helper. So then I started putting my attention towards sales of the surveillance system. So that's pretty well where we are today. So we do the installations, we do the surveillance, and then there's I work with a lot of national companies. Just like the day I went down and repaired a TV. When I leave here, I got 10 TVs to repair. So I do a lot of stuff in the electronic side.
For sure. So what sets apart Mcknight Electronics when in terms of high quality security solutions and services you provide?
One thing is that we're local. Two, being in the business, in the troubleshooting business for 58 years, we're good at troubleshooting stuff. The other thing, and probably the biggest thing that we do is I will come to your house or come to your place of business and do a survey. You don't charge anything for that. Example, I had Union Mission downtown, and we looked at they looked at their camera, about putting some cameras in, and she said, "Well, we're gonna go ahead and go." She called me and go ahead. Well, how much money did I need to give you down? I said, "Nothing." You could hear a pin drop in the background because most of them get anywhere from 50 to 75% down.
Oh, wow.
So we don't require that. You pay us when we get the job done, and you're completely 100% satisfied with the job. So I would say those two things there are probably that separates us.
Well, I want to throw in something here because in case you didn't catch it, he's been doing this a little while. So you've gone from tubes to chips and everything in between.
Yeah.
And so you got a guy who's coming in to do an install. A lot of times they send their technician, and he was good enough to drive the vehicle to your place, but you wonder how he got a license.
Right.
And you certainly, they get up there to your house or your business and look around, and it's obvious they don't really have a clue.
Right.
And coming up with some crazy solutions. And the fact that you've been in electronics, you know how they work from the inside out and really understand, and you actually come in and do that
Right.
initial evaluation. That to me is a huge differentiating point.
You hit the nail right on the head, and what ends up happening in this, just like my guy went to work with me, he was 18 years old, and so he's, between the two of us, we've done, like I said, over 6,000 installs. He and I have probably done 15,000 direct TV and satellite installs. So as far as installation, we can get a wire in a lot of cases where somebody else. And you're right, we go on jobs, whether it be TV installations, we've been on some that said, no, they couldn't put it up on the fireplace, and I don't know, if they just didn't, it was a little bit of work involved and they just didn't want to do it, and we would do it. Our favorite thing is when we run into a situation like that, we say hide in the woods and watch.
Yeah.
So, anyway, and two, a lot of times what ends up happening is that you got an individual that bought a TV from Best Buy and he found out the installation was $250. Well, I'm gonna install it myself. You install it. Well, the uncle comes down, man, you did a good job on that, you know. Yeah. So he puts his uncles in. Well, next thing you know, he's a TV install guy. He's putting a sign out for $50 to install a TV, you know. So there's a little bit more to it than that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So what are some of the common misconceptions about the security system or the TV installation or the satellite solutions that occur, and how do you address them with your clients?
Misconception, probably expenses, you know, is one of the things that everybody's, you know, that's obviously a cost of something. And my thing is on that is especially when I used to sell TVs and I used to sell Curtis Mattis, and he horned around about the price, and finally I'd say, well, let me just ask you something. Is it cost or is it price that you're concerned about? What do you mean by that? Well, the price is a one-time thing that you pay for it, and if you do a good job on installations and this and that, then you don't have any cost involved in coming back and doing stuff to it later on.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's probably, you know, obviously prices is a big thing. And we don't have a lot of overhead. All of my vehicles are paid for. I'm 76 years old. I don't have to work if I don't want to, so I don't have to pay a secretary and pay a rent on the buildings and this, that. All my vehicles are paid for. You know, we can give them a reasonably good price. You know,
Yeah.
We're not gonna, you know, give it away, but
Yeah.
we're gonna get a good price on it.
What's the biggest job as far as number of TVs and wires and all the other stuff you had to figure out?
We just finished a job right around Christmas time. It was a Bohemian on River Street. We put 75 TVs in there. Probably the biggest camera job we done was probably Union Mission, which was probably, I think it started off being like 20 cameras, then we went in and added about 3 more. And when I leave here, I'm carrying 2 more bids down for 2 more locations.
So when you did a place like the Bohemian, you go in, you install the TVs. I imagine there's a lot of wireless stuff going on there, and then when you're done and they're all installed, you make sure everything's connected and syncing up. And you don't just hand them the remotes.
No.
Go ahead, they're all yours.
Yeah. What we actually ended up doing is taking the old TV down, and then we had to put a new mount. And of course, the mount didn't fit the same holes. We had to refit them in there, put the TV on, and then you had to take a thumb drive and program that television. You had to go with a remote and go into the settings, and then plug that in and what they call cloning and program it. So it's if you did it by yourself, it's about an hour a job. But with 3 of us, we could go in there in 15 or 20 minutes each and knock them on out. You had somebody putting the mount on, and then somebody drilling the holes, and then so on. So anyway.
Yeah. So from your experience, how has the demand for your industry been over the years?
When I first got into it, I just figured that this TV installation business would just run its course, after everybody got one. But people don't realize that TVs don't last like they used to. They last 4 or 5 years. And then two, also they come up with more features like the smart TVs, and people want to do that. And then, Lord, they come up with bigger TVs. So, now there are 100-inch TVs out there. So, and they want bigger TVs. From that side of the business, from the surveillance side of the business, as we well know, there's more theft going on. Retail theft is a $98 billion business, and they expecting by 2025 it'd be like a $110 or $15 billion business.
Wow.
So and then right behind it is residential. So obviously people want to protect what they have. So cameras are and the way we shop. We don't go to a brick and mortar store anymore. We just take our phone. Yep, Amazon, I want this and that. 2 days later, there it is, sitting on your front porch. Well, if you don't have a camera sitting there looking at that thing, it's easy to see that somebody took it, because Amazon takes a picture of it. There it was.
Yeah.
And if you don't have something to back it up, then
So 2 days later, it's on your porch, and 2 hours later, it's gone.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we may end this podcast, what are the goals for the future of Mcknight Electronics?
Basically, I have worked for I guess since 2000, well, my whole life, to get right down to it, I've worked in the business. Now I want to work on the business. I've got the installation guys, and then of course Tina was working for me a little bit. It was do sales, and then I could be doing that. I could help with some sales, and then also be looking at other opportunities. So if I got ready to sell it, if you're working in the business, nobody wants to buy a business if somebody's got to go in and work. If you want to sell it, then and they see income coming in, and then they can put a value to it, and they're willing to buy. But anyway, probably what'll end up happening in my situation is I'm gonna build the surveillance side up, and if anything, any other opportunity comes in, that we will get into that and do that also. And eventually, it's set up. If I was to die tomorrow, I'd give it to the guys.
Well, it sounds like you've had at least one of them that's been with you for a long time.
Yeah. He's I can put him on a job, and I don't have any problem with him. When I gave him a truck, gave him a credit card, gave him a gas card, he doesn't abuse any of it.
Well, AI is a big thing, and it can duplicate a lot, but I don't know that it can duplicate 58 years of experience.
For sure.
Everything from tubes to chips.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen. And you gotta have people. I mean, you can do the sales and this and that, but you gotta have somebody to do the grunt work,
For sure. For sure, and I know you have a lot of successful stories, but Mr. Gene, how can the audience get in contact with you?
Well, you can reach me at I've got a website, which is www.mcknightelectronics.com. I'm on I think I'm on Facebook. I don't know nothing about that. That's beyond me. But anyway, I have somebody that handles that for me. And also, you can call me at my phone number, which is 912-572-8989. I will answer the phone on Saturday. I will answer the phone on Sunday. Anytime, because basically I have hotels and motels that I maintain. If they go out, I got to stop what I'm doing and go and get them up right then and there. So, so I might as well answer the phone, I'd say probably up to 10, 11 o'clock, I don't answer a phone, and that's 7 days a week.
Awesome.
I picked up a job Sunday.
Yeah.
I called. I said, well, we'll get over there Monday and see if we can get you done. It's probably later on. We got some jobs to do. We were over there putting it in. Picked up a deal there, so.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Gene Mcknight, for coming on the Dream Builders podcast. Again, our podcast is sponsored by Page Properties Team, TheDream E.N.T, Real Estate for a Reason, and Make Real Estate Fun Again. Thank you so much, Gene Mcknight with Mcknight Electronics, for coming out today.
Also, the radio.
Huh?
Oh, and also, thank you again for KGCI Real Estate on Air for collaborating with TheDream E.N.T for this podcast to be broadcast nationally. We hope y'all have a wonderful day, a fantastic weekend. Always remember to be awesome. Catch y'all on the next episode. Be blessed and be safe. Peace.